Hey, welcome back to our study this week. And we've been looking at Jacob's increase in Genesis chapter 30 here. Today we're in verses 34 through 36. And we're going to see how Jacob's cheated again. It's funny that his name is Cheat, but then he does cheat at the beginning, but then ultimately he is more cheated than he actually cheats. Pretty interesting. But he's obviously, that's part of the discipline of God, right? He's getting back what he did at the very beginning. So let's get back into the story here in verses 34 through 36. And we see that Laban separates the flock. Now, Laban says, good to Jacob's plan. Let it be as you have said. Of course, he's already working his angle's already set. He already knows what he's going to do. And so Laban enthusiastically accepts the plan. And that should have set up some red flags for Jacob, right? Uh-oh. If he really likes this plan, I'm in trouble. So on the same day that Jacob and Laban make the deal, Laban goes out to the flocks himself and collects all the spotted and speckled animals. Now the agreement was that Jacob was to do this. Well, either Laban does not trust his son-in-law, or he just wants to put him at a disadvantage at the start, or maybe both, but that's what he does. Whenever Jacob went to separate the herds himself, he would find that there were no animals that really belonged to him. He's starting off with 0. That stinks, man. So he would have learned instantly that Laban cheated him again. And that would sting, because now he's entered into this agreement with his father-in-law, and he already knows the guy's cheating him. So, and apparently Laban has no problem with that, because we learn later on that he cheats him over and over again and keeps switching it. Oh, you can have these animals, but you can have this one. You can have this one, this one, or this one, this one. So he keeps switching it over and over again in the next 6 years. So it's sad that this man would do this to his son-in-law, who's like in his 80s, right? And I don't know. This guy's an old man. What's wrong with him? It's a crazy story, but that makes it pretty true to life. But here we go. The next part, we see that Laban puts his own sons in charge of the sheep that he just stole from really Jacob. So all the sheep that Laban removed from the herds, he gives to his sons to care for, and then he sends them away. He has them move the animals 3 days away. Laban has just brought his sons now into this whole mess. That's the problem too. Laban was a scheming kind of guy in the first place, but now he brings his sons into it too, and brings them into the trouble, brings them into the sin. So this guy's a real winner. Anyway, we'll see later on how this will impact their lives as well. But before we move on, let's stop and think about Laban for a moment. He knows that God has blessed him because of Jacob. Wherever Jacob goes, blessings come. Laban said this himself. So why does he decide to cheat Jacob over and over again too? It's as if Jacob is trying to prevent Jacob from cheating him, even though he knows Jacob is prospering because of God, not because of cheating. It makes no sense here. Wouldn't you try to get on his good side? Wouldn't you try to help him out? Like the Philistines did with Abraham, and the Philistines did with Isaac. They tried to get on his good side and say, hey man, we see you're blessed by God. We want to be your friend. But Laban doesn't do that. It's really counterintuitive. But this is how a person that does not know God thinks. As Paul says in Romans 1, he has become futile in his thinking. He's not thinking right. He's not thinking clearly. And so he has these thoughts, these plans that he's doing that make no sense at all. And so that's kind of where we're going to leave the story at for today. And tomorrow we'll look at 37 through 43. And just kind of think some more about Jacob. And then Jacob does some crazy stuff next too. So none of these people are perfect, which is true. No one is perfect, except for Jesus. But these people, Jacob, the great patriarch of the faith, Not a perfect man. He has got some weird things going on with sticks. So we'll look at that next time. So come back, read Genesis 30, 37 through 43, and that's what we'll look at next time.